welcome to Maple Pavilion on the campus of Stanford University. Max Agrest here bringing you the coverage of the action today alongside my partner Austin Oda, who's pulling a double shift today.
Yeah, for all of those of you who tuned into some field hockey earlier today and didn't get enough of me, congrats. You get at least 3 more sets of this voice, but it's been a good day. Really fun 60 over at the varsity turf, and excited for some volleyball.
And the Stanford Cardinal and the UC Davis Aggies both coming off sweeps against the Utah State Aggies here at Maples. For the Cardinal, it's deja vu, taking on back-to-back Aggie oppositions.
That's one of the best bad puns I think I've ever heard.
I'm the king of them.
It's got to be weird for the Aggies to take on another Aggies team, but for the Cardinal, the opponent is the same every time. It's us versus whoever's in whoever is in the opposite jersey. They know the game they're going to play, and you know what? It's worked to this point in the year.
First ever meeting between these two programs despite only being 105 miles apart. And familiarity between their head coaches. The Stanford Montag Family Director of Women's Volleyball is Kevin Hambley in his 9th season. And Davis is led by Dan Connors in his 11th season. But before they came to their respective roles in their tenure positions and posts, they spent time at the University of Illinois. Hambley was the head coach there from 09 to 16. Connors was his assistant coach from 12 to 13 under Hambley. So Davis is looking for an upset on the farm in Stanford, hoping to make it a sweep against the whole herd, knocking off 2 straight Aggie oppositions. Starters come on the floor. Let's give you them. Davis first. It's Shapinski, Starlight, Caldwell, Chandler, Habino, and the libero is Cordero Barr. On the other side for the Card, Harvey, Blashoff, Andrew, Rubin, Sayer, Parks, and Etzler. And a service ace for the Stanford Cardinal get us started. Aggressive serving is one of the key things you'll see out of this Cardinal unit.
How about that? Right on cue. Logan Parks, no aces, 18 errors to that point. Turning that around right on cue.
Best way to get a game started is with that ace. This one setting up to the left side. And off speed, read well. Chapinski with an awkward attack. On the other side, it's Jordan Harvey coming off a massive game. Straight into the block. They go back-to-back against Chapinski. And Stanford with the 2nd straight point.
Chapinski, someone they're looking to get going. She's really stepped into this tertiary scoring role this year. She takes the first 2 swings, 1 blocked back, 1 tipped up. Not the way she wanted to get started.
Chapinski coming off a career-high 13 kills against the Utah State Aggies. So they are force-feeding her early. Going to the right side this time, and another job off the block. Force-feeding that right side. Great dig after the hit from Habino. And now the off-speed. And that one just a little too soft. Couldn't even make it over the net. 3-0 run early for the Card.
Early timeout taken, and you kind of got to. The way the first 3 points have been running, Stanford dominant early on.
Yeah, so our first timeout coming early. We'll take it alongside with them on the media timeout. Back in a minute 30. The jump serve into the back row, and this one will be in play. Back row attack. That one was over to Light. That's the leading kills woman. And return on the other side, an exclamation point for Julia Blashoff.
What I like there for Stanford is the floor defense, because that's the one area where Stanford has struggled a little bit this year. The opposition has been better defending the floor than Stanford has, and part of that comes with the freshman libero, Spencer Etzler. But there they defend the floor well and then attack out of it. Defense turning into offense.
Yeah, that dig wasn't all that clean. Shouts out to Etzler right there with the perfect set to get that kill. On the overpass now. Trying to make them pay up the middle was Andrew. A high set. This one returned easily by the Card. Going back to the left side. Ripping, was it touched? And yes, it was. Blashoff getting involved early. Didn't play against Utah State. And you can see that the Stanford Cardinal have it in their game plan to get the redshirt sophomore going early.
That's big. Last 2 matches she's played 22 kills to just 5 errors. She gets going early on. 2 kills, 3 swings. That'll play.
The diversity of this Stanford offense has been on display in the last few matchups. Who's rocking and rolling in the driver's seat today? We'll see as this goes along, and the first point finally answered. It's Chapinski. They went to her a few different times to start, sent away, and now she's finally able to collect the point.
Yeah, that's a really good look. They set up Chapinski near side, and she went cross court right through the trees. Super impressive for her to get that one through.
Rachel Dunnigan coming in as the serving rotation. She'll put it into play. Back set right side on the slide, Lizzie Andrews.
That's just strength. Andrews sliding over, going to her right. They clear up that middle because Andrews going to the right. There's nothing that they can do, but they have so much faith in Andrew that she's going to be able to send it over.
Flash after the side out, another service ace. That's the second of the afternoon for the card. 7-1 just like that.
That's always an area that Stanford's going to succeed in, just by virtue of the way they're coached. It's something that they practice, they preach throughout year after year. It's part of the culture. We're going to dominate the line of service.
Yeah, the service line has been a topic of conversation for the Cardinal up to this point. They've been so aggressive, and it's been leading to a lot of service errors, so it's good to see them finally get a few in play, and it's good to see for the Aggies able to collect a point, getting the stop.
And I guess that's what I should say more is it's not dominance necessarily, it's aggression. They're going to go for more service aces because they want to be able to get those extra points. Those basically freebies and they don't have to defend. Something that, as they grow into the team a little more, will come a little more natural.
Senior setter Hayden Bones into the back row as she's serving now. First swing of the day to Rubin. And a violation called against the Aggies and gives the point over to the card.
And talking about service specialists, Bones is one of them, one of the best service specialists in the nation. Just dominant the last couple of years. She's played 4 years, only one of them. She's had more service errors than service aces. That's crazy.
Yeah, 4-year Aggie starter. This is a very experienced UC Davis team as they are trying to work through the choppy waters early on, able to do so with Jade Light. Light, one of those many seniors on the roster, came in tonight with 96 kills. Can fully expect her to try to get to that 100 mark by the end of this one.
Yeah, watch out. She's had 15 or more in all but one game this year. She's got 3 double-doubles. She's a superstar.
Chapinski with the high serve. Going to the far side, back over to Rubin, down the line, and that's point Stanford. Oh my goodness, Elia Rubin with the perfect placement.
Just spun it perfectly. They were expecting her to go cross court. Instead, she goes near side and puts it right on that paint.
Harvey serving, nearly his second ace, but instead an opportunity on the tip. That goes from Light. Straight into the block, sent away. UC Davis gets the point after the attacking error from Logan Parks.
Really nice job by the Aggies front. We haven't seen that a ton today. This time off a really good swing. It was just sent back right in the middle. It was Chandler getting up. She is one of the big-time defensive players on this Aggies roster.
Yeah, it was the first time we've really seen that double block go up for the Aggies, so slight adjustment there. One right side on the slide, this time to the freshman, and it went off the foot of an Aggie player, so that's the point to the freshman. And that's what I love to see from this Kevin Hamlin-led team. When you're going on those slides, you are setting your middles, you are getting them in the offensive game plan. It doesn't matter if it's the freshman Erica Sayer or if it's the sophomore and Lizzie Andrew. Those middles have been involved early and often for the card. Elia Rubin, a very nice serve on there. An out-of-system attack, one-handed stab, wasn't able to collect it cleanly, and that's a kill for Brooke Habino.
Well, and back to your point about the middle blockers. Have a middle blocker like Andrew who's able to play all 6 rotations. It also allows the blockers to get in on the offensive action a little bit more because they can rotate, they can reversal, they can slide over, and it's not on that last set before the card.
10-5 the score here. Jimena Cordero Barr, libero serving. Back row attack, too long on the swing. Of course, you'd like to get Jordan Harvey involved after a 12-kill, 9-block performance. Just a little too much mustard on that dog. We've seen the Aggies in that last matchup against Utah State come back after giving up a few different runs. Aggies do not have any quit in them. On the off speed, sent back over to the net. Going left side, ripped down the line. Terrific dig there by Etzler. And now the attack into the back row. That was Parks. At the net, it was won by the card.
Logan Parks got all the way up. The way she's able to play multiple different positions, she's super versatile. That time playing in the front row, getting up, joust at the net, and she's going to win it every time. Standing at 6 foot of her vert, big time.
A few change-ups in the last few matchups since the Missouri match, where Stanford's been running with Parks mainly as their predominant setter. Whereas before they were switching with a couple different setters. Aggies attack into the block. Great read. Going straight back to the left side, and that is the height on display of Lizzie Andrew. Went up, didn't even need to go back up to recover. Just all 6'5" of that frame blocking out the sun.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. See it here. She got up for a block one time, then did it a second time, and she was coming down. Just got a fingertip up. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, the net is set at 7'4", and I think with her wingspan, as she puts her hands up, she's already just about that 7'7" mark. Just the physical tools alongside the athletic capabilities from number 11 in white. Now we'll get our first look at Coco Kirsch. She comes in as a defensive specialist and a serving specialist for this Cardinal unit. Down the line. And that one did not touch any digits. Wide left. The attack was by Kivino.
We saw early in this one, Ruben go on the same side of the court down the line, and she was able to tool one in. This time, the Aggies are unable to do it the same way. But a good idea. The entire Stanford defense was playing the other side.
Yeah, the block is oh so strong, even if it is a single block, and now we get another look at that block. Blashaw and Andrews putting up the roof.
I mean, she's incredible. She's been so efficient this year, but she's also improved her attacking. Her kills per set has gone up. She's become a stronger floor defender as well on a team that's struggling a little bit to find that central floor defender. She's getting up with the block.
Yeah, Erica Sayer had a massive matchup against Missouri in the last road match before coming back home to Maple. Some miscommunication there by the Aggies. Finish that point in a moment. Going to the left side. Off the block, chiseling those fingertips was Julia Blashup. Finishing my point, Erica Sayer was getting all the love in the world, all the national recognition, and now Lizzie Andrew comes back and says, hey, I'm back here at home at Maples. I'm going to come out here and show what I've got as well. Timeout on the floor taken by the Aggies. That is already their second timeout, but we'll keep it here as the score 15-6. And Austin, up to this point, what do the Aggies have to do to adjust against this dominant defense of the Cardinal?
For me, it starts with the defense at the net. It feels like Stanford is just winning every single possession at the net. Their blocks are getting up. And of course, when you have Lizzie Andrew up there, it's going to be a little bit easier for the Cardinal. But Davis has been unable to get anything through those trees on the Stanford side. And on the other end, when Stanford's attacking, the block just hasn't been set perfectly for Davis. And a lot of that starts in the possession before, where Davis has been out of system for what feels like almost a third of their plays so far. You can't get back in system defensively when you're out of rotation like that. It's just been a little bit difficult on both sides of the ball for the Aggies.
Yeah, we saw it on the first serve from Coco Kirsch, where basically two Aggies came together. It was miscommunication. They ran into each other. They were able to get the dig up, but you don't want players running into one another.
No, not at all. It's those are the things. Those are, as any coach will always say, physical errors will happen, but that's kind of a mental error where miscommunication. You can't have that happen when the team is as good as the opposition is. And for Stanford, I mean, you're going against a top 5 team in the country. You can't make mental errors.
And the Aggies 3-3 on the year, but they have been very good in the first sets. They're 4-2 and 4-2 in the first and second set. So getting off to a hot start has been oh so important for this unit. So I can understand why you got to take those 2 timeouts early. We're getting a first rotation in here as Mackay Burtons-Decker, the graduate transfer out of Manhattan University, comes in. This is only her second match played of the year. The transfer out of Manhattan, you played 2 years there, was the female athlete of the year and second team all NAAC. So a different look early on and trying to get some more bodies involved for this rotation of UC Davis. Davis in the back row attack, and that block is oh so strong. I made a joke saying Lizzie Andrews was a skyscraper, but she continues to show off that immense vertical range.
Yeah, she's incredible. Chapinski just was unable to recover after she had the swing. The block went right back her way, and she was already tracking back when the ball came to her.
6-0 run, potentially going 7-0. The overpass Stanford setting up a clean offensive possession on the slide, and it is the Lizzie Andrews show. 17-6 card.
I mean, how do you stop her? She's everywhere. She set up a block on the left side of the possession before. Here she slides over to the right side and gets all the way up over the net and sends it cross court for the kill. That's finesse as well. That's not just
Oh,
pure
absolutely.
power.
She had the run up. She could have put all the power, but sometimes you need that finesse alongside. The Jazz to the net eventually popped back up on the side of the floor of UC Davis. Trying left side, ripped into the block and sent away. The first attack from Burton's Deckert sent away.
It's just unfair. Andrew is unstoppable right now. The joust was won by the Aggies. They got it back on their side. They're able to set it up like they want to, but Andrew sends it straight back. It's just a straight up vertical. Perfectly executed.
That's what you coach. And for this young team, coaching and learning all that experience is oh so important. That attack went off the face of Park. Back row attack there from Rubin, and Rubin kisses that corner.
I want to go back to Lizzie Andrews from the play before because it honestly wasn't sent back perfectly, but the attention is always on her, and so anything she does is going to have the spotlight. That time it was another piece of miscommunication for the Aggies as the ball fell right in between a trio of defenders.
Yeah, those new legs in the rotation can give you some fresh blood, but at the same time, communication can be an issue when you bring in some new players. Trying to go on tour, miscommunication, I think that's exactly what it was. Burton's Deckert did not set up on the left side, and the set was there, but it just falls into the floor.
With no timeouts left for Davis this one, with Stanford holding a 14-point lead and just all the momentum going.
A double-digit run, 10-0 for the card. And this one, a slam dunk taken by Julia Blashoff.
Just an overpass again, a poor reception makes it an 11-0 scoring run. There's nothing you can do with that one because it's set up perfectly. It's like for Blashoff that it's from the setter, but instead she just hits it right over.
See Elia Rubin doing a little dance. She's feeling good as she's the leader of this team. And finally, after the 11th straight serve, a service error from Coco Kirsch, and that'll finally bring a rotation onto the floor.
Stanford's hitting 588 right now.
Yeah, that says everything. Stanford is a very clean offensive attacking team, but that number is nearly unheard of. Service error on the other side as Layla Burgess came in, and the freshman puts it in the net. 22-7, a dominant start to this opening set for the card. Logan Parks into that back row. She will be the server. Jump serve, attacking directly into Light. Right side off the tip, and reaching over the net. That's a net violation called against Stanford. Stanford in their few home matches up to this point, this is only the second one, but they've been playing some very clean volleyball. Only, I don't have the official stats, but off the top of my head, 2 violations in that first matchup against Utah State. So rarity to see in the opening frame. Off the top of the net, Jordan Harvey on her second attack of the night. And a big answer there by Jade Light. That's what you got to do if you're the Aggies. You got to put your best players in position. At some point, it goes away from the X's and O's and goes to the Jimmies and Joes, and I think that's what you got to do.
Absolutely.
And on the other side for the card, as it's a thunder strike from the top row, as Julia Blashoff gets another kill. When everybody is a Jimmy and Joe on the other side of the net, that's just a tough, tall ask.
Yeah, I don't know about Jimmy's and Joe's. All I know is Julia, and that is a laser beam.
23-9. Serve into play on a terrific set. Trying to go to the middle, answered well by the card. Now it's Rubin off the block, out of play, and it's set point 24-9. If you want to talk about how good Elia Rubin is, let me just give you this. She had a quiet night against Utah State. 10 kills.
Unbelievable.
The lone seniors there as set point will go to the other side of the net. A service error against Blashoff.
Rubin might be playing the best volleyball of her career. I mean, I don't even know what to say at this point. She's hitting 1,000 today.
Austin,
352 over her last 4. She's been perfect.
if she can get you tongue-tied, that just speaks magnitudes onto how good of a player she is. 24-10, set point, the one-handed stab, a good job on the read, but couldn't get it up. Another kill for Lindsay Andrew in the 25th point for the Card. 25-10, a tremendous start for the Stanford Cardinal unit, hitting 619 with 14 kills, and that sends us to our second timeout here at Maples. Back here to start the second set. First one dominated by Stanford, 25-10. It was 11 serves from Coco Kirsch that really allowed a 10-0 run and let the Cardinal rock and roll. And when you look at these matchups between the rosters, it's insane to see. Stanford, the number 5 team in the nation, I'm sure they'll go up in the rankings after the Tuesday polls. 6 freshmen, 8 sophomores, only 3 upperclassmen, 1 junior, 2 seniors. And compared to the Aggies roster, 2 freshmen, 2 sophomore, 4 underclassmen, and 13 upperclassmen.
It's kind of unreal. And you look at not just the number of players that Stanford lost, but the caliber of player that Stanford lost.
Olympian level athletes.
To be able to rebound and have a really tough schedule at this point and still be putting up big wins. Your only losses are the Nebraska and Texas, to the top 2 teams in the nation.
Literally 1 and 3.
It's unbelievable.
Getting us started here for the second set is Nia Starr. Left side of the net as we get going. Going right back to the slide, and it'll pay its dividends immediately. Lizzie Andrew on her 4th kill. How about this start for Andrew? 4 kills on 5 total attacks, upwards of 750, and she's also got 5 blocks.
It's unreal. I have nothing. I'm speechless. Tongue-tied again.
And a service ace once more. Logan Parks with her 2nd of the season and her 2nd of the afternoon.
Right, that's big. Someone who's really struggled from the line of service this year. No aces coming in today. Did have 18 errors. As a true freshman, just someone who's trying to find her rhythm. And you know that there's something there. She's continuing to get those opportunities at the line of service, even though she isn't converting. We're starting to see it pay dividends today.
I mean, this is oh so big when you want her to be your primary setter. Her in the back row will really unlock the offense, and getting it started from the service line is a huge aspect to it. A little too aggressive on the attempt that time. As it goes long, service error makes it 2-1. Going to the service line now. And it's Rachel Dunnigan in her 2nd part of this rotation. Last time we saw her was a service error, and unfortunately for the Ags, happens once more. 3-1 Card.
When you're in a game like this, if you're UC Davis, you just can't give Stanford these extra possessions. You might need to start tuning down the aggressiveness on the service line a little bit.
Let serves are so difficult to convert on. Flash shot got us started, and this time off the block, a conversion from the blue and gold.
Ever caught a ball here?
Have I caught a ball?
Yeah.
Yes. I was a part of that 2018 championship team here, and those balls seem to be a heat-seeking missile for my big ol' head. Volleyball. You gotta have your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
Out of system attack there. Goes to Harvey. Harvey only her 3rd total attack of the afternoon. And a nice couple of points strung together by UC Davis. We talked about the tenacity of this team and the never quit really perspective that they put on every single match, and some good adjustments early on, as well as a little bit of a slow start from the Card. Great serve, and this time 11 is standing tall, man. She has been electric.
Yeah, she's fantastic. She's so good. And back to your point about never giving up, the two sports that have really gotten me at the collegiate level are volleyball and softball, because those never give up, no matter what. And you can see it in the way the teams play.
Metzler sends it into play. That one nearly out of play. But Davis will pick it up. Going right side, the back set ripped off the block. That time was Harvey. Going over to Light. And Jade Light ties us up 4 apiece. That's what you have to do. And we talked about in the first, Jade Light, the only player in positive hitting percentage for UC Davis. 3 for 6, 500 up to this point.
Need to get her going. She's been the #1 option for this Davis team. She's tremendous.
101 kills on the young season. Bump set, goes back over the Light, and that one, the door shut straight on her face. Right side on the block, Erica Sayer was a part of it.
Really nice floor defense, though, on that possession for the Aggies. The swing from Ruben was a missile, and they were still able to corral it and send it back.
Now, anytime anybody returns an attack from Ruben, as this one is dunked down by Ruben, I am in utter shock. It seems like if it's chiseled off the block, it somehow finds the one spot on the floor that somebody isn't there. And if she hits it like a missile, man, I'm watching my head. I don't want that one to ricochet to me. Harvey initiates. Going cross court, back over to Light. They're force feeding her now. Back to Light. Off the block. Try one more. And the tip this time instead of the power. Setting left side. Ruben goes with the tip. The pancake keeps the ball up. And the free ball. Side on the slide. A little too wide.
Oh! That was a good one.
Bad puns and rhymes. That's what I can give you all night long.
No, I'm here for it. That was a really, really nice rally by both teams. We talked about the floor defense for Davis, and that's somewhere where they've succeeded this year. Somewhere that they're consistently better than their opponents. They outplayed their opponents. And that time they did so. Their pancake block was perfect.
Now with Light in the back row, let's see how this offense really gets going. Her first serve into the net. Another service error from the Aggies. That is already their 3rd.
And they fed Light on that last possession. 3 straight tries. It was 2 that she went with the power, and then 1 that she tried to finesse in, and Stanford's defense was ready for it.
7 serving 5. It's Ruben. Back row attack goes to Light. Light just got a little bit of a knuckleball in that one. Curved wide left. My favorite thing to watch with Stanford matches is the facial expression of Elia Rubin throughout the matchup. Kevin Hambley speaking oh so well about his senior. As this one, a kill from Brooke Habino. Habino has been the other option UC Davis has been feeding.
Davis playing so much better this second set after they hit in the negatives in the first set. They're picking that back up. They're starting to be a little less aggressive at the line of service, which has helped them out just enough.
You got to get the ball into play. That's the first step out of everything. Perfectly tooled off the block out of play. Julia Blashoff. She was the leader in kills in the first set, but it felt like it was almost swept under the rug just because of how efficient she was.
6 kills on 8 swings, no errors. Have yourself 25, 30 balls in play. That's crazy.
12th serve of the afternoon there by Coco. Trying the left side, the off speed, off the touch, an opportunity to attack, but this one into the netting. But Swine has not been the friend of UC Davis. There have been 5 or 6 offensive opportunities that just can't make it over the net.
Yeah, but a really nice job there by Mia Starr on the floor. Her 4th dig of the afternoon. It was on an off-speed swing. She was able to find it.
The first with the left serve. On the left side, surfing down that tape, and the point collected by Brooke Habino.
And again, they just continue to stick in it. You feel like if they stay within 3 or 4 points, as long as Stanford can't extend that lead, this could be an interesting second set.
Coming back into the back row is Spencer Etzler. And Barrow coming into that rotation for Erica Sayer. Going back to the slide. And man, that is a thing of beauty. 8:33. Pardon me, 8:57 after the calculation. 6 for 7. Lizzie Andrews. Oh my goodness. Andrew is electric. Out of system attack, finds the back floor. Good job there by Breeze Chapinski. They tried to go to Chapinski early.
How many different ways do you think we could say electric, outstanding, fantastic? Because Andrew is all of those things. She's on full display right now for the club.
Well, every other sport, I have to have at least 17 synonyms for that. Unfortunately, I don't have that on my guide tonight. Left side, staying in play. Jade Light comes right back to that far pin, and she answers quickly. 11-9, Stanford still with the advantage.
Light had gone a little bit cold. They kept trying to force feed her, and she's best when she can just play her game, not force fed. She can just find her way.
You can already see her laboring with a little bit of the breath as she gets in front of that slide, keeps it in play. Back set to the right side, and the junior hits it left. Foul territory for the junior out of Ramona, California, in Breeze Chapinski. Blashoff on her last time to the line. Had a service error on set point. And the aggressive serve barely touches the top. On set. High ball ripped in the back row. Harvey with a massive swing. And a great dig on the other side for the card. Etzler was there. Rubin! Half-court rip! And the point for Stanford.
So much good floor defense. It's been kind of lost in how much Stanford dominated the first set. But really, Davis has done a pretty good job on the floor. I don't think the hitting percentage really displays that. But overall, they're playing well on the floor. The block has struggled. They only have one block. But 12 digs, and again, it just feels like every possession, they're right in on it. As long as they can keep the ball alive.
A much more competitive second set here as it's 13-9. First timeout taken by UC Davis. We'll take it as well. 13-9, the score here in the second set after a dominant opening frame for Stanford. 25-10 was the score as they came out hit well above 600. But up to this point, UC Davis putting up a much better fight in the second frame. For that as a service ace for Julia Blashoff to get us started after the timeout.
You talked about it earlier. Davis has been really good in the first two sets this whole year. It's kind of their bread and butter, getting up early.
And now they will learn how to play a little bit from behind as it's a service error on that second attempt from Julia Blashoff. Rotation brings back in Anna Pringle. And on the other side, it's Hayden Bones back there to serve. We talked about Bones in that background, the leader in aces for this unit. Nearly collected another one. One-handed set, and a good dig from that right side by Parks. Rubin sent away. The block was hot. Allie Chandler coming up and putting it down.
Chapinski got in on that one too, but she was just hyped for her teammates. Double block, Chapinski, Chandler getting up in the middle, and they get just enough on it to spin it past the outstretched reach of the Cardinal.
Watch for Rubin to get her get back, I'm sure. The next set they come, he's going to work with the chisel off that block. Service error won't allow her to get in that spot. 15-11, Cardinal advantage.
You can see, though, why Bones is so successful at the line of service. The ball just barely gets over that top tape. That one, it almost looked like a golf ball, just kept riding.
Yeah, it's either going to be a let serve or a little bit of a knuckleball. She's definitely a service specialist for this Aggie team. And a specialist up front, Allie Chandler. Going middle. They tried it a few times without success. This is the first kill for her.
It's big. Getting those middles involved, it's where Stanford has really had the advantage so far towards the end here.
And this whole season, that's where Stanford has been buttering up their bread. And service errors and 3 points on top of everything just continue to get the rich richer. Jordan Harvey showing off a revert on this serve. Trying to go back to the left side with Light. Light showing finesse. Back over to Rubin. And Rubin with the off-speed herself. Sets middle. And that's a kill. The freshman Erica Sayer with a clean set and the quick attack straight down the gut.
And they just don't lose much when they go from Lizzie Andrew to Erica Sayer, especially on the offensive end. When you have a middle blocker who can slide side to side and also play from the middle.
Yeah, those quick attacks are something we don't see too often. The slides have been the predominant form of offense coming from the middle. Overpass. See if they can capitalize on it. Rubin into the back row. Goes up twice. 2 shots, 1 point. You'll take it. 18-12, the advantage continues to grow for the tree.
Look at the pogo stick. Got up once, got up twice, and was able to send one down.
I like that. Pogo stick. Harvey in to the net for a service error.
And it's what it looks like. She barely touches ground before she gets back up, and that's such incredible athleticism to be able to do that quickly twice and get up exactly as high the second time as well.
Ladder drills aren't quite as predominant in this sport, but I want to see what she can do on those ladders. I'm sure she can compete against some of those athletes on the football field. Stanford getting their first win of the season yesterday here at home, a 20-10 victory, I believe it was, over Boston College.
30-20.
30-20, yeah, that sounds about right. All these sports here in the fall season underway from the farm. Going to the left side. Was it touched? Yes, it was. Good job pairing off that block with Sabino. As Sabino started off cold, but she's quickly gotten back into it. She started out, I believe it was only 1 for 8, but now at this point, 3 kills in 12 attempts.
She's a big-time player. She was really good against Wisconsin in that loss.
Against another ranked team, and that is a target on the right shoulder. Just a great show-off of that backslide from Erica Sayer.
And really good awareness as well by Logan Parks to know where that middle blocker was going to be sliding to her right. The back set her up perfectly. And look, as much as that was about the kill, the assist was beautiful.
Gotta give love to the setter. Setting right, going to the back row, trying to find some space on that floor, and on 2! That one hits the floor. Great up there, or a great attempt at the up, but an even better job done by Starr. That's when you got to start getting a little tricky. You're still in this one as it's 20-15. Yes, you are trailing by 5, but you got to start pulling some tricks out of your bag. Nice job on the dump ball. And right on the slide, wasn't able to quite get the verticality. This time was Andrew. The attacking error. It's a 4-point match, or pardon me, a 4-point set.
Yeah, back to the point about Starr, the setter. When you have a setter that can decide when she's going to or when she's not going to attack, that's huge. But she's attacking more than ever and doing it at an efficient clip still.
Service errors continuing to be a thorn in the heel of Davis. That's their 7th of the afternoon. Yeah, the setter being able to control the pace of the offense is such an underrated part of the game. And the setter and Logan Parks getting us going. Right at the net, the joust into the back row. Find left side, this one sent away in the block, the attack from Chapinski. Now trying the block once more. Block solo for Julia Blashow.
The net defense, the net presence has been stellar for the Cardinals so far. That's their 7th block of the match. And that's to me, that's the biggest difference between these two teams right now. The attacking for Stanford has been tremendous. They're hitting .391. That's going to play any day. But so much of that is because of the lack of blocking presence from Davis right now. The net presence just hasn't been there, and Stanford is out blocking Davis 7-2.
That's exactly what it is. It seems like every single time UC Davis tries to go for an attack. There's two or even a triple block right in front of them. Then on the other side, it's late in the rotation. You can't quite get there. And they've done a better job this set, but these are the things that you've got to dot your I's and cross your T's against a top 5 ranked opponent.
Credit to Davis, though. They're playing well in the second set. It's been a lot of Stanford. The second set is swung back a little bit Davis's way. Stanford went on an 11-0 run in the first set. That has not been the case here in set 2. They've been, for the most part, point for point.
Yeah, absolutely. Point for point. But it's those little runs that continue to carry them over the top. And that's part of the reason why Stanford is up 22-16 at this point. We saw in that last matchup against Utah State, there was a 7-1 run by Utah State in the second set, but Davis was able to fight back late in these latter points. So let's see if they can perhaps lightning in a bottle, do it 2 times in a row, this time obviously against a much different opponent. Good amount of fans filling up Maples Pavilion. The students have not started yet. I believe they start school in about 8 days, so that's when things will start to really become a home field advantage for Stanford. They played in front of some crazy crowds up this time of the year. They played over at the Moody Center against Texas in a crowd of 10,000 plus, and they played against a very rowdy Missouri crowd before coming back here, back home. Going to the middle, one-handed job on the dig, and on the left side, Julia Blashaw, 8th kill already. Pardon me, that's her 7th kill already.
7 for 7. Number 7 gets up. There's nothing you can do about that. And the way that Stanford's able to recover as they got out of the system, a bump set from the back line, and it was right to Blashaw, who was able to send it cross court. There's no one in her way. They thought Stanford was too out of system to get an attack there, and Blashaw says, no way.
So hear me out. 7-7-7. That's a jackpot.
Yeah.
Back to serve, Logan Parks. And this one trying, but could not quite get the ball when playing. Another service ace, her 3rd. That one went straight into the hands of her student radio announcer.
Say that's KZSU over there making a play.
And with that, it's 24 serving 16, no timeouts remaining. Set point here in the second. Return this time, but the attack wide left. Far too many foul shots, and that's the reason why Stanford leads 2-0 after the first 2 played. 25-16, Stanford takes the second. 25-10 was the first. And Austin, UC Davis doing a lot better job. But talk to me about their defensive adjustments they'll have to make going into this third.
They've got to start prioritizing the block. It just hasn't been there today. Some of the people that you expect to be setting up the block in the front row haven't been able to get into position because the offense has been out of sync. Not a ton you can ask for when you only have 2 blocks in 2 sets. So you've got to start it on the block. I think their floor defense has been fine, especially in the back row. Some of Stanford's wings have obviously found the hardwood. They're hitting 396, but more often than not, the defense has been solid on the floor. Blocks got to get there for the Aggies. 5-0 run to end the second. 25-16 the final there, and it's a 2-0 lead for Stanford going to the third. Catchell on the other side. Back here for the third frame of action. Giving you some stats at this point. A lot better of a job by UC Davis in that second drop, in Stanford's attack percentage down about 300 points, but it's hard when the first set Stanford was able to get 545. It's one of those that's like kind of unsustainable. You're not going to expect to hit 545 for a whole match. But it's not that they played poorly in the second set by any means. Kept the momentum, ended on a 5-0 swing, and they're not taking the gas off at all.
The best player from the service line to start, once again, Logan Parks. 3 service aces today. This one will be put into play. Trying to go to the right side. Pulling off that block to start Breeze Chapinski. So important to get some of these other players involved, to get some top talent. Chapinski coming off that 13-kill performance against Utah State. That is a career high. And they've been force feeding a few different people as, man, that was a missile from that back line. Great dig there by Etzler. That's it, turns into a free ball. Trying to set the left side back over to their best player in Light. Return on the off speed, it's Harvey. Big slap of the ball by Chapinski. And a joust at the net. That is the first joust of the afternoon, won by the Aggies as they go up 2-0 to start.
Yeah, it's not going to go down as a block, but I mentioned look for that net defense, and that's it. It doesn't show up as a block, it's going to be sent back, but that's what they've been looking for. That's what they've been missing, is that strong play at the net.
I think head coach Dan Connors for the Aggies really lit a fire underneath their team because the power is coming out to start this third. Going back over to Light. Light into the floor, and Etzler somehow mops it up. And on the other side, trying to reach forward. That ball almost went out of play, but the fingertips of Cordero Barr got to it first. That is the first point here for Stanford. It's 2-1.
That's her corner. Blatchoff just goes cross court and is able to get it in enough, but it also tipped off the defender. She's so strong on that side.
Blatchoff serving. And that is what you cannot do. Overpasses at this level of play will nearly always resort in a point. And it's Lizzie Andrew just calmly collecting another one.
She just goes to a double-double, and we're 2 sets in.
10 points on the afternoon up to this point, and a service ace gives the first lead of the third to the card, 3-2. These are the type of performances, yes, it feels good to be winning big, but the placement of these serves has been oh so important tonight. We haven't really seen Stanford be able to put this together on a consistent basis in any of the matchups up to this point, and they're doing a tremendous showcase job from the service line. And there you go, Jade Light elevating and throwing down.
And that was a big time bounce from Jade Light. Look at her get up and get down.
Yeah, 10 feet through the sky. What a job, and she is rewarded with an opportunity from the line. I understand you want to be aggressive with your serving, but getting the ball into play is oh so much more important. Light with a high, winding serve that goes into the net.
And especially with the way that they've played defensively this set. They've been so much better since that longer range was in the second and third.
Time to the left side. On the off speed, a miscommunication. And Rubin is kicking herself in the rear end. Going down, trying to go for the dig, but instead that one tipped into the floor, and it's a lot closer here in the third, 4 apiece. This is where UC Davis can start to find some rhythm and momentum. If they can get a run going with Hayden Bones in that back row. It's into play this time after a few service errors beforehand. Overpass. Going to the middle. Erica Sayer.
Perfectly placed. She didn't let it rip. It wasn't overly aggressive. It was right where it needed to be, right between the trio of defenders. Taking a look, set up perfectly. Boom, campfire zone.
Yeah, right in between the two lines. Everybody loves to show off the power, but man, that finesse. The tool set that young freshman out of Colorado Springs possesses is truly amazing. Jordan Harvey with a service error, and it's back to a knotted up set 5-5.
The fact that Stanford is doing all of this without Jordan Harvey, who's got no kills on 10 swings, that's unbelievable.
Now, Jordan Harvey was the player of the match last time against Utah State, and I think she's just trying to calibrate here. Off the slide, off the block, point Stanford.
Harvey had come in red hot, 356 over her last 3. Negative minus 100 today.
Only the 5th time in the rotation here, the 5th serve for Elia Rubin. Trying to work it down that line, but That is the block of Stanford, not allowing any space in the attacking area against Brooke Habino. Hamley talking about his senior player as it's a service error. Ruben is such a good passer from that outside, and he's talking, saying, like, it's almost like you got another coach that's playing on the floor when you got Ruben, especially with this roster that's just stacked up with underclassmen. It's so important to have that common presence for the Cardinal. Right side underhand shot on the missed slide attempt to go right back to the middle and right down to the pavement.
First time Sayer went up, it was like Super Mario. Second time, it's Erica Sayer. Man.
With the limited rotation, just because of the long runs of Stanford, Sayer hasn't had that much playing time throughout the first 3 sets, but she's already got 6 kills, hitting .559. A punch over the top, Ruben able to retrieve. Going back to the left side, sent away into the block. Blashow got blotted out there.
But I really liked what Ruben does there in the back line. Even though it wasn't received correctly or received smoothly on the other end, she still was on the hardwood. She got down. She was making the play.
Oh, all-out effort.
And that's going to come in time. It's still early enough in the game to where, all right, the effort is there. That's a good sign.
A couple more matchups before going into ACC play. And that time perfectly placed in the corner by Blashow. Finishing my point about the current setup, taking on UC Davis today, taking on Hawaii, Texas State, UCLA, who's a ranked team, and then at the very end of September, going on the road at Virginia. That's going to be an 11 a.m. local start time. And that is where it's a little difficult in that ACC action. Another ace after being unable to return it. And that one, another credited to Logan Parks. Man, another one. That's her 4th. She had 0 going into the day.
Awesome. Huge confidence boost for the freshman.
Continuing the action from that back line. Going back to Light. Dug up by the libero. Now it's Harvey. On the offense, going left side to Blashow. Off the block, Ruben was there to pick it up, but couldn't quite keep it in play.
Even though it didn't result in anything positive for the Cardinal, I want to shout out what Spencer Etzler does on that play. Because the first time she goes down to try to dig a ball out on the other side, she's sprinting forward and she's able to stay on her feet, and that allows her to go to that bump set. Again, it didn't end up in something, it didn't end up in a point for the Cardinal, but just a big time effort play from the freshman.
Shadinsky has a great looking serve from that back line. Right side, Chandler couldn't quite get a clean attack. And this time, off the block, it's Jade Light, back-to-back points for her. And 9 will serve 10. Jade Light had a little rough start to the afternoon, but since then, 7 kills, the leading scorer for this UC Davis unit in a 2-17 as Chapinski, another service error. Jade Light close to a double-double, 7 kills, 8 digs. Let's see who else is on double-double watch. The closest is Lizzie Andrew with 6 blocks and 7 kills per card. And a service error, trading it off. Blashow couldn't get over the net, and it's 11-11, a lot tighter here in the third. Pardon me, 11-10. Haven't had much success with Jade Light in that back line today. Light able to get it in play this time. Going to the middle. And the middles are feasting this afternoon. Lizzie Andrew with another.
They're playing Girl on Fire, and yeah, she's red hot. You can't stop her. Good luck trying.
Freshman comes in, so Sayer will be in that front line, and service aces galore tonight. Finally, you got to be feeling so good for the Stanford card that the serving is happening. 7 service aces up to this point for the Cardinal, and it's 13-10 as UC Davis takes the timeout. 14 kills from the middle, and it has been the 2 middles today for Stanford that have been getting it done. Lindsey Andrew, 8 kills, 1 error on 13 swings, hitting .538 alongside 6 kills. Sayer, 6 kills, 1 error, 9 total attempts, .556 of her, but the leading kills one up to this point is Julia Blashoff. She has 9. On the pirouette, a little too much centripetal force sends that ball long. The point after the timeout goes to Stanford.
Stanford middles are hitting .545 today.
I understand middles have high percentages just because of the way that the attacks are set up. That is absurd.
Especially at the rate, or excuse me, at the clip they're doing it at, where it's not like they have 3 or 4 kills today. They have, like we said, a combined 14 kills hitting .545. Stop it.
This is not a bad opponent. UC Davis sitting at 3-3 on the year, but this is a very good team as that serve stays in for the ace. Aces for you, aces for you, aces all around. Spencer Etzler gets her 4th of the year.
Stanford's season high to this point in aces was 10. That came in 5 sets against Texas. They've got 8 today. We're in the 3rd.
Man, that matchup against Texas was crazy. They had to move it away from that regular arena that they play at over to the Moody Center, the house that Kevin Durant built. And yeah, that 10,000 crowd, if you got ESPN Plus, go back, take a look at it, because some of the early action we've seen from this young team have been crazy. Starting off this season with that victory against Florida in Nebraska, and then losing 0-3 against the #1 ranked Nebraska team. And then, man, it's just the gauntlet that this young team has had to go through up to this point, and we're not even in ACC play yet. It's been crazy.
And you look at the ACC too, you know how good the ACC is going to be.
Yeah.
But then you look down in terms of the teams that were polled as projected to be maybe struggling a little more this year. Boston College State, no. Clemson is 9-0. Syracuse is 6-2. Virginia Tech is 6-1. Those 3 teams were all picked to finish in the bottom 6. And look, I can't speak on what their strength of schedule looks like. You win 8 games in 8 tries, you're doing something right. Even that bottom tier of the ACC is going to be a challenge this year.
After the review, it stays true, so the ace will be credited over to Spencer Etzler. Etzler will kick us off here as 15 serves 10. A 2-0 lead in the match. Left side, and not a clean attack there by Davis. Going over to Rubin, and that is the surgical precision of Elia Rubin. You can't leave any single digit in front. She will rip them right off your hand.
She is fun to watch. Her expressions are really good. I think it might be hard to see on the video, but they're good. It's fun to watch. She's super emotive. And why wouldn't you be, right? She knows what it's like. She's comfortable here. And it's awesome to watch.
A few different players on the roster. Sydney Duncan, we haven't seen her up to this point, only played in 1 matchup. The daughter of NBA legend, 5-time NBA champion, and Hall of Famer Tim Duncan. And got a fun story. So I've worked PA on the other side. I've been part of the fan ops, been here on the broadcast. But when Tim Duncan is in the building, he doesn't want any extra accommodations. He's sitting up there in the stands. His knees are at his ears because he's not built like a normal human being. And he just wants to be a man of the people. And it's so fun to be able to see just all the different faces, all the different hats that come through Naples time and time again.
I have a similar story. So I went to Oregon for my undergrad, and Willow Johnson, her dad, Randy, also not built like a normal human being, also about 6'11", and he started his photography career at Oregon. It's awesome to see the superstar pro athlete to superstar collegiate athlete pipeline and see how that works, especially with volleyball when you've got these just gigantic human beings playing. It's awesome.
YMCA blasting over the speakers. That is one of the rally songs on the beach. One different player coming in this year. Logan Tusher, haven't seen her up to this point, but she is coming in from the beach. As what a return by Stanford on that play. Light trying to capitalize. This is an overpass. Going on two. Capitalizing. Allie Chandler on two has worked. She is 2 for 2.
And Davis just continued to get Stanford out of its rhythm on that one. The ball was up in the air for so long that Davis was able to rotate around and get in the proper defensive position. While on the other end, Stanford was scrambling. And look, good attempts from Stanford on the defensive end. And that's just good coaching, good offense by Davis to be able to capitalize on that point.
100%. Illinois, the year before Dan Connors got there, he was a part of the runner-ups in the national championship. Back in 2011, he came there, and they had to really build because they lost a lot of talent. So Connors knows how to recruit, he knows how to build a team, and he knows how to put together a talented roster. At this point, though, Stanford is just being Stanford. They're doing Stanford things, and that's part of the reason why the Cardinal left 16-11 at this point. Showing off the elevation there was Jordan Harvey, but a better job on the defensive side. Bino sent her away.
And Davis is right in the set. Lead down four with a little momentum going their way following the timeout. These are a big stretch of points.
And with your best server at the line as well. And that is the way to answer. Another middle kill, Erica Sayer. Give her credit. 7th of the afternoon.
Hitting 600. Stop, please.
Yeah, 10 attempts, hitting 600. Man, these middles are going to be something that you have to scout for, prep for everything. Taylor Yu coming in for the first time. Saw her in that third set against Utah State as well. Going middle once more and collecting another point. Erica Sayer. Sayer up to 8 kills at this point. And Taylor Yu had played a lot of volleyball up to this point. Before the Utah State matchup, she was actually the leading assist maker for the team. She sent it too far, and that's a service error for her. So it's been really interesting getting a, you can say more veteran player. She's only a sophomore. Changed up for Logan Parks, but it just speaks about really how level-headed some of these players can be. It's not always going to be your day, but you got to stay ready and you got to keep fighting. And when your number is called, you got to show up in big moments. And talking about big moments, Elia Rubin, she has been the exclamation point on the team all year long, getting another point. She's up to 9 kills now. This distributed attack of Stanford is crazy. 4 different players with 8 kills or more. This one sent away. Logan Parks saying no, no, no.
Her versatility is so important to this team because she leads the team with 23 assists today. She's also got 7 digs, 2 blocks, 4 service aces. She slides over to that opposite role with bringing the second setter into the match.
Yeah, and having those 2 setters on the floor is so amazing just because the versatility that you've got. An answer there by the Aggies trying to keep afloat as it's 14-20. Finishing your point about Logan Parks there. It's so good to see her aces finally coming underway 4 in the afternoon. She led her team in aces in high school, so that was one of the factors in which she came to the farm. Obviously a great setter, but that pressure that she can bring from the line fully on display, and hopefully some of this momentum can move herself forward as we get into some of that tougher part of the schedule we talked about moments ago.
Back to your point also about the distribution of points. Actually, I'll get to it after this here. It's all you.
At the net, sent away. Great job there. Only the second joust one on the afternoon by Jade Light.
But I think it's easy to, if you're scouting a Stanford team, to look at it and say, oh, they don't have anyone averaging 5-6 kills %. That's because they have so many attackers that can do so many things. So you've got 3 or 4 players averaging 2 to 3, 4 kills per set, and they're just dominant.
Somebody averaging only 2.38 kills, but that number is definitely going to go up. Erica Sayer, that quick attack is lightning fast for the young freshman. And that freshman-to-freshman connection of Logan Parks and Erica Sayer is going to prove its worth as the season continues. It's not pretentious, but just when you talk about the Stanford team, you talk about the postseason.
Yep.
Yes, you got to play the matchups to get there, but that's what Kevin Hamley talks about, and that's how he prepares and sets his team up. It's for the postseason.
Yeah, it's not if they make the postseason, it's when they make the postseason. Usually, when they make the Sweet 16, when they make the round of 32.
Hamley getting his 200th win here at the farm versus Utah State. Trying to get to 201, and oh my goodness, Lizzie Andrew. We've seen that all afternoon long. Her ability to recover after jumping up, that is professional.
Seriously, what are you supposed to do? How do you answer it? And I think that's the question that the opposition is going to have to answer all year long.
Getting right on top, an opportunity to return it, going straight in front of us. Getting my hands on a ball this time around.
Yeah, you look a little like Lizzie Andrew up there, getting that block
Oh.
away.
Do not flatter me in that regard. Right there in front of us, had to save all our technology. And it's 17 serving 22 as Davis able to get the point. This, if I'm not mistaken, is the first service attempt by Maggie Burtons-Deckard here in her UC Davis career, the graduate transfer from Manhattan. She sends the ball over a two-handed jam taken by Julia Blashoff.
Clean up on aisle 7. My goodness. Look at Blashoff. Off the swing, sent back on an overpass. Blashoff gets 2 hands up there.
Clearing that 7-4 with ease. Now can she close this out? 23-17. Number 7 serving on the overpass. Going middle. Nope. A left side attack. Rubin wasn't quite there. Going back to the right side. Harvey trying to get some of her offensive game going. Gets the dig on defense. Free ball. Davis needs to capitalize here. Going back to their best player in light. And the block was there. Ooh, free ball. Stanford, left side. Rubin! Overpass. This is the first long rally we've seen today. And Davis able to get it done. Allie Chandler went up once, went up twice. And that is the point keeping them alive.
Yeah, I think everyone, when Davis sent that free ball over, kind of held their breath a little bit. Stanford can't be given that opportunity. But the Davis floor defense again just continues to be solid today.
Needing 5 straight points to send us potentially into extras here as it's 18 serving 23. Rubin goes straight into the arms of Cordero Barr. A great job on the set, but the attack on the right side went a little too long for Breeze Chapinski. It's set. It's match point here at Maples, 24-18. Last time we saw Spencer Etzler from the line, she was able to get an ace. And she will be the catalyst here for the 25th potential point. Kept in play. Left side, down the line. Was it touched? No, it was not. An attacking error on Brooke Habino, and that will put a cap on it. 25-18, the final here in the third set. It's 25-10, 25-16, 25-18. A clean sweep of the Aggies as 2 Aggies come to the farm, and the farm sends them away.
I don't know if you can take anything negative from this match from Kevin Hamley. You hit 346 as a team. You assist on 32 of 37 kills. 32 digs as well. You average 3 blocks to set. 8 service aces to 9 service errors. That'll play every single time. There's nothing that you can take away statistically negative from this one. Just a perfect hour 20 for the Cardinals.
Julia Blashoff coming back after not having played against Utah State. Right back inserted on the offense. She has 10 kills as the kills leader for Stanford on the afternoon. Jade Light on the other side with 10 kills on 28 swings. 286 is how she'll finish it. UC Davis got to go back to the drawing board, but against the number 5 team, they fought. They continue to push it through, and Davis will go on to take on Cal on the 17th before starting their Big West season down in UC Riverside on the 23rd. And with that, another successful outing here at Maples, 2-0 here at home. Stanford advances to 6-2, and that'll do it for us on this young afternoon. Get back to some NFL football coming your way here on this lovely Sunday afternoon. For our entire production team, for my partner Austin Oda, my name's Max Aguirre, giving the coverage today. And we'll see you back here at Maples. Austin, you got the next 2, right? Don't you?
Yeah,
There you
excited.
go. Having some fun here at the farm. And we'll see you guys next time.